Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Throughout today's video, I want to be talking about how I construct my meetings when I'm dealing with clients. This is definitely a big topic because over my 6 years experience of running an agency, I see so many individuals struggling with constructing their meetings. You know, they're going in for those one call closes, or they're just completely getting it wrong when they're in the meeting with the potential client. So in today's video, I want to touch up on some mistakes that I've learned over my 6 years experience, and also what you should be doing in your meetings to make sure you're closing those deals. So number one, should you be closing on that first call? And my simple answer is no. And the reason I say no is because I learned this at the very beginning. You know, when I first started my agency, buying into these courses, buying into these mentorships, a lot of these gurus, they're telling you, go for that first call close, make sure you close on that call, make sure you get them to sign the invoice and get the money sent over literally live on the call. You know, that's just not the case anymore. When you're talking to a business owner, if you sound desperate, and if you come across desperate from the get-go, you're just not going to get the close. And I see this all the time with individuals coming into the space now. You know, they've seen a video online, how to get your next 10K a month, or how to close a deal on that first call. It just doesn't happen. You know, as a business owner, you want to be able to trust them. And if you're going onto that first call, already giving them a price, already trying to close them, you're just not going to get anywhere. So I want to basically discuss what I do in my agency, Social Optimum, and how I go about closing deals. So that first call should literally just be a discovery call. Diving into questions, getting to know their pain points. That should be the aim of the call. You know, I've seen some agency owners, I've heard some recordings of people literally just talking about themselves for 5 minutes. You know, I started my agency when I was 16. I've done this, I've done that. You know, the business owner doesn't give two shits. Let's just be frank. They just want to solve the problem within their business. They want to increase their sales. They want to increase their appointments, whatever it is. They don't give a shit about you. Yes, of course, you know, the first 30 seconds, the first 2 minutes, you know, introduce yourself, get to know them a bit more, but, you know, don't be talking for 5 to 10 minutes how you started your agency. They don't give two shits. So please, please, please don't talk too much on that first call. Understanding what they've been doing so far with their advertising and their marketing. So for example, when I get on a call with a business owner, the first thing I want to be asking them is, have they been running ads before, yes or no? You know, within that first call, I'm diving into questions. I'm making sure I get to know this business owner. I get to know his pain points. So near the end of the call, I have a bit more authority. I have a bit more trust built with them to then ask for access into that account. I'm not asking for full access. I literally just want view-only access into their ad account. So I can look at some of the ads they've been running in the past, or if they're currently running ads, I can basically take a look in the ads manager, see how they're going about their management and see if there's any changes that we can make. And usually I then wouldn't do the free audit, obviously live on the call. I'd say, okay, perfect. We're going to go away for a few days, have a look in your ad account. And if we generally believe we can help you, we're going to be transparent with you as a business owner, and we're going to tell you whether we can generally help you or not. Because I see so many agencies nowadays, you know, 90% of the time, there's definitely room for improvement, but there's been a small 5 to 10% where I generally look in that ad account. I've seen about 4 different agencies that's been in the ad account over the recent years. They've not been able to make a change. And in that case, usually, unfortunately, it just is the brand. And then generally in that case, obviously, we just have to be truthful and tell them, listen, it's not going to work out. But if we feel we can make improvement in that account and we can start bringing them in sales, then of course, we then book in that second call. And typically within that second call, that's where the close takes place. Now, my next point, you know, people come off too strong too soon. I see a lot of agency owners, and to be honest, I can definitely claim this was me at the very start of my journey. I would be jumping on these sales calls, very desperate for the money, to be honest, and they can literally smell that in you. You know, they can read straight through your mind. They understand that you're desperate. They can just sniff it. And at the end of the day, that's just where you sound way too desperate. You know, you're coming off too strong too soon, and you're not going to get the close. So please, please, please don't sound desperate in that first call, because they're going to be able to read you. And what I mean by desperate is literally, you know, if you're giving them a price and then after that price, you're literally evaluating your services. Yeah, you know, it's a really good deal. Oh, it's a great offer. Like, talking like that, speaking in that tone of voice, you're just going to come across desperate, and no business owner is going to want to work with you. And that's literally why I do these first calls. I don't really like to dive into retainers. I don't really want to tell them how much we charge. I just want to know whether we can generally help them. And also not coming off too excited, because I've had some agency owners, and especially me when I started, I was so excited about the service I was offering that I was just trying to close them, like literally within that first call. But again, what you're offering is nothing special. A lot of businesses nowadays, you know, they've already heard of paid ads. They've already probably been through 3 agencies. They've probably been burnt out by an agency before. So they're probably already quite skeptical getting on that call with you. So I think that's something you have to understand. You know, when I started my agency back in 2018, paid ads wasn't really a big thing. So a lot of these business owners were quite excited. I was excited about it. But nowadays, practically every business owner understands paid ads, or they've been burnt out by an agency. And unfortunately, being an agency owner, it is on the dark side at the moment for business owners. A lot of these brands, a lot of these companies, they've already been through 4 inexperienced agencies, they've burnt their money, and they don't really know who to trust. So I think you have to understand, if you just got yourself in the agency space, offering Facebook ads, it's no magic wand. A lot of these businesses understand it already. So please don't get too excited on the calls trying to offer these services. Now, my next point is really important because this really frustrates me. I see a lot of individuals, they've come into the agency space at the moment, they've never worked with a client before, they have no experience, so they think, oh, if I make a great offer, if I can guarantee this business 100 new clients within 30 days, they're going to want to work with me. This literally frustrates me. This is what's killing the SMA space. So please don't be going out into the industry offering these absolute ridiculous promises, because at the end of the day, a lot of these business owners, they've been in business for minimum 10 years. They're not stupid. They're going to be able to read straight through you. They've probably been outreached by 1,000 agencies within the last few years promising the same thing. At the end of the day, it just doesn't sound realistic. When I run ads for my clients, I can't give them any promises. There's no guarantees. You generally don't know how it's going to go. So giving promises like that, especially when you've never worked with any clients, it's just not going to make you look good. And let's be real, you're not going to be able to back it up. And that's literally what's casting a dark spell on the SMA space. Next up is not picking up buying signals, because I see a lot of individuals, they go onto these calls with their script or with a PowerPoint and they're just trying to follow that procedure, but they're not really picking up buying calls. When I'm on a call and I'm talking about a specific part of my service, if they start asking questions, for example, oh, so Matty, when you bring in a lead, what's the next steps? How do we deal with the lead? How do we contact the lead? Just make sure you pick up on those buying signals and put a focus on whatever questions they're asking you, because that's really going to help you get the close. You need to be able to adapt on the call, because every individual, every business owner, they're different at the end of the day. You've got to be able to adapt to that business owner. Now, to everyone who stuck around to the end of this video, this is my last tip, and it's one that should help you get deals over the line, because I see so many agency owners, they go onto these calls and they basically, by the end of the call, ask the business owner whether it's a yes or a no. Yes, maybe at the start of my agency, I was not going down this route, but in the recent years when I started getting success with my agency and I surpassed 10K a month, all the sales calls I've ever done that I've got over the line, I've never had to ask the business owner whether it's a yes or no. Throughout these calls, I go into that call literally knowing that I'm going to close the deal. I go into that call with the mindset that that business owner wants to work with me. And I use assumptive language throughout that whole call. And just to give you an example, I'll be using sentences like this. When you start working with us, that first week, we're going to be doing this within the campaign. I'm literally talking to them as if they've already wanted to sign with us. Using that confidence, using that assumptive language, I'm telling you now, if you go into your meetings like that, that's going to help you get the deals over the line. You don't ever want to be asking them whether it's a yes or no. You need to be confident. You need to be using assumptive language throughout your whole sales process, throughout all the calls you've had with them, just using assumptive language. And literally by the end of the call, I actually give them a date. I say, okay, realistically, this date's going to work for us to get started. How does that sound for you? You need to make them believe that's a good opportunity for them, not just for you. It's literally a great opportunity for them. And that's literally something you should be implementing into your sales process, into your mindset when you go about all of your sales calls. So to sum up assumptive language, talk in a manner as if you've already been told yes. You've already been told that they want to work with you. Because I'm telling you now, that's literally going to help you get all of your deals over the line. Doesn't matter what line of business you're in. You don't have to be running an agency. Any line of business, if you talk with assumptive language, that's always going to help 90% of the time get a deal over the line. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to be coming out with a lot more videos going into 2024. Stay tuned. I've got the new mic now, so hopefully the quality is a bit better for all of you. But again, please comment below any videos you want me to make. I've been running an agency for 6 years now, so I can really dive into anything. And again, I always want this channel to be transparent. Hopefully over the next few years, I'm going to be able to grow this channel. And at the end of the day, help a lot of agency owners build a successful agency as well as an established agency. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video.